Oh my God. Uriah Hall, my man. We have seen you and talked to you in a lot of different spots, but never something like this. What's this like for you?
It's fun, man. It got me out of bed, the numbers were okay, and it was a good motivation. I just decided to come out here and step outside my comfort zone. For me as an athlete, it's stepping outside my comfort zone. And the normal folks ain't going to understand that. If I say that, people are like, what does that mean? Only warriors and professional athletes can understand that. That's what I'm doing.
Did you know about professional boxing was something you wanted to make a transition to when you left, or was it just sort of happened?
It sort of happened. Like I said, I was on vacation, and my coach called me about it. I thought about it, I slept on it, and I was like, all right. I was in a weird place. After leaving MMA, man, I fell into a really deep hole. If I could talk about it, I fell into a deep depression. A lot of athletes, when you do something for so long, that's what you identify as. You're a football player only, or you're a fighter only, and people don't see that. You walk outside, you're like, wait, there's nothing else for me to do? And I spent the last 20 years of my life committing myself, my soul, to one attribute, and then all of a sudden it's gone, it's taken away. So it was some really dark, deep places, and luckily I had the right people around me to support me. I mean, when I say I felt depressed, I even at one point looked at my firearm like, wait a minute, I can go down a really dark path if I don't get out of this. And people don't talk about that shit, Depression is a real thing. And if you don't have the right support group, support system, you won't get out of it, man. If you look at like people like Robin Williams, all those type of people, you're like, how the fuck did you kill yourself? I get it. Like at that moment, I finally fucking understood. So luckily I had the right people to get me out.
How long did that go on for you? Was it just ongoing until this came up, or you were kind of climbing out of it before this?
Listen, depression happens in every shape or form. It's constant. Everybody, I can tell you, everybody here is going through it in their own sort of way. But for that particular time, me stepping away, there was some politics involved. I just really fell into a dark place, and I felt alone because a lot of people don't talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it because then I seemed weak. I didn't want to tell my friends because I seemed like a bitch, and I didn't want that, comfortness. I had to be a man to get out of it, and that's what society taught you: be a man, don't cry, don't be a bitch. So I fell into that, and I sat on my couch for literally a week straight, not knowing what to do. And I remember the first time opening the door, see the sunlight, I was like, what the fuck? But I gotta say, man, it was really dark, and I'm just so happy to get out of that. And I encourage people, I know it's hard to even talk about it or talk to someone about it, but I know activeness does something. Literally by me just getting up and walking outside, it helped my mentality. So,
how long ago was that, Uriah?
That was literally right after I retired from UFC. It was literally right after.
Not long ago.
Not that long ago. So training definitely helps. Being around the right support system helped. Of course, I had to match people's energy because everyone was like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I'm like, hey man, what about how I feel? What about, do I need something? So it's like I had to stay away from people. The problem with that is you fall even deeper into this fucking hole, and then you're trapped, and then next thing you know, God forbid, you do something stupid, which I almost kind of did, because I remember looking at my firearm and I was like, shit, I can get out of this easy because I don't know what else to do. I didn't know how else to think. So I'm good.
That's good to hear.
Was you leaving the UFC, was that what cost it, or
say again?
Was you leaving the UFC, is that what cost it, or what cost it?
I think it was just a combination of not doing what I used to do. You're used to a certain pattern when you train certain things for a while. Like you guys, you do this for so much. It's second nature. You don't have to think about it. And all of a sudden you stop doing it. It's like, all right, let's go pick up the kids. Huh? What? So I didn't understand what else to do. I didn't have that roadmap that a lot of athletes have after any type of sports. It's like, all right, good job. Now here's the second path. Didn't have that. And again, talking about it just adds those criticized, and you just feel like you're not empowered. So I didn't want to talk about it, but luckily I did, and luckily I had the right people to support me to pull me out of it.
Do you feel like a professional boxer now? Like now that you've immersed yourself in this and gotten ready for this, like do you feel like that's where you're at?
Honestly, I'm just having fun. It's a new opportunity. I'm not putting any pressure on anything. I learned to be connected to everything and detach, because literally nothing lasts forever.
Are you a football fan?
Honestly, and I'm sorry, I do not watch football. I don't even watch my own fucking sport. I like figure skating because it's articulate, and I'm that type of guy. But hey, we're all weird in our own way. What the fuck is normal?
So when they call you and they're like, hey, we got an all-pro running back, he wants to fight you, what's your response?
Okay. That was my response. Okay.
Is this a one-off, or are you going to continue doing boxing?
I have no idea. Like I said, I'm just here to have fun, feel it out, see what happens. It's just a great way to get back into certain routines of training, and I'm happy for that honor.
When this fight was announced, Uriah, a lot of people were like,
Does LeVeon Bell really want to get into the ring with a guy who was tied for the most knockouts in UFC middleweight history? I mean, what was your reaction when you got that matchup? I mean, you're like, this guy's never even fought before, and you're a 17-year veteran.
Well, of course, I have to be confident because as a professional athlete, fighter, you need that confidence to go out there to be like, what, motherfucker, this is my world. However, the realistic side of it is I don't know the future. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know his game plan. I don't know what he's training for. But I'm confident in my world. Yeah, I say that like, fuck no, this guy ain't going to beat me. But I don't know what's going to happen. I know what I can control, and right now it's just the moment and each step I take.
Did you see his fight against Adrian Peterson? And if so, what was your takeaway? Like, what do you see watching him?
I saw that fight. I saw he's doing a lot of single strikes. He timed that right hand, I think, well. But he's just very strong. He's very strong, and strength is something you have. But if you don't know how to train it properly, you're only strong. I'm strong, but I have other dynamics with that. So it's just stepping outside my comfort zone.
Thank you, Ryan.
This guy always ruins everything. Right?